This video is about the creation of 2D drawing sheets from a 3D model that you have created. So the first thing you want to do is go up to the top here and File and Make Drawing from Part. Once you click that, this dialog box comes up and you can select different sheet sizes to different standards. Okay. There is another video about setting up a custom sheet that you can use each time that you create a drawing. So I'm just going to create this one, A4 landscape. Now it is an American standard, but we'll go with that for now. So click OK. Once you do that, the sheet appears, and on the right hand side we have this thing it defaults to called View Palette, and it has a selection of views that you can pick from. Okay. Now at the minute, one of the views that I want side on the other direction isn't available. So there is a way to create custom views that you can add to the view palette. So to do that, you need to go back to your model. Okay, press the space bar. Now you can view selector, pick that, and you can select different views. So front on there, that way is the view that I want to select. So I've selected it, press space bar again, and there is this option here, new view. Okay, now you just call it, so I'm going to call it front view. Okay, I click OK. Now, once I go back into my drawing sheet and go to the view palette, now you can see there it's updating because I've made a change in the model. So go to view palette. Now, sometimes you need to refresh. So there we go. So it is also now showing me that that's the current view, but I've named it as a separate front view. Okay. So I'm going to click on that and drag it out up to here. Okay. Now over on now, if you don't click, you can drag out different views from that. So I'll just press escape for now. If I click on that and select it, I can change the display style. So it's currently on this hidden lines removed. I can have wireframe hidden lines visible like so. Um, I can have solid. Now that's what you would have if you were putting your isometric view. So I'll go back to hidden lines not shown. Okay, and click OK. So if I want to add more views, I can go to the view palette. So I want to add an isometric view, but not looking from the bottom. I want to have one coming in from one side. So again, if I want to create a new view, go back to the model, go to view selector, and that's the view that I want to use for my isometric view. So I can just create new view again. Okay. And click OK. Close that. And if I go back in here, it should update. If not, I can refresh. So you can see there the view palette is out of date. Click refresh. And we now have this is shown as my current view. Okay. But I've also created here that it's saved. So if I drag that out to here, okay. Now I want to change it so that it's solid shaded. So I'm going to pick this option, click OK. I also need a section view for this because if you remember about this part, we used the shell feature on the underside and we shelled out the middle and we left a wall thickness of 2.5 millimeters. I also want to add a top view underneath this side. So top view, I'm going to put it under here. And then I'm going to create a section view. Okay, so I want to create a section AA coming through here. So you can do this by clicking up on the drawing toolbar. So section view, and you just select where you want to position it. So I'm going to position it here and click the green tick and drag it out to where you want to place it on the drawing sheet. It will name it as section AA. You can change this if you want to change that to B. You can change it here on the left hand panel. Click the green tick. Okay. So We will add in our dimensions at this stage. Any notes, if there's chamfers, you can override dimension text and add that in. The other thing we can do is we can modify the border and modify the sheet format. So if you right click and edit sheet format, then it brings up the border in blue. So we can click in here and we can write something in here. So already you notice that the drawing number is brought in automatically by what you have called your file. So I had called it exercise one. Realistically, that should be a part number in there or a drawing number. And in the title, it should be what the part is. So I'm just gonna, for talk's sake, put an exercise one here. Okay. And I can move that, center it up. Then you have in here drawn by, checked by, approved by. So manufacturer, quality, manufacturing engineer, and quality engineer. You can put in the material, you can put in the weight, and you can get the weight when you do the mass properties option. If we talked about this last week, when you assign a material to the component, you can go into mass properties and it will calculate a component weight for you then. So finish, deburr and break sharp edges. You can put in notes in here. Do not scale drawing, and you can put in the revision. So in revision, let's see, I can put in revision A there. Okay. Drawn by. Okay, so I'll drag that out. So just put my name. Then you can add a digital signature, put the date. And you can make that smaller so you have the formatting toolbar comes up once you have started to type in. So I can make that a size smaller if I think it's too big. Okay. Material, you can add in that here. Now, obviously in your model, if you've assigned a material, it will come up here. You can see material not specified. Um, I'm just going to add something in here just so we can see. Okay. And again, you can change the size and the format. Now, if I want to go out of that and go back into my standard sheet to add in dimensions, if I right click and edit sheet, okay. Um, so if I want to edit the title block, it's edit sheet format. And if I'm finished doing that, I can go back into edit sheet and it will take me into the views of my part where I can add dimensions. So there is annotations there. You can have the smart dimension, which is what you're going to use to add in your dimensions. There's a spell checker function, which is good. You can have a format painter to match. If you have a format of a dimension, you can match it to another one. You can add in symbols, so surface finish, weld symbol. You can add in a geometric tolerance box. You can add in, if it's a datum feature, a center mark, a center line. If it's magnetic line, you can have a balloon call out. So if you had, say, an assembly drawn, you can add in balloon numbers to label your parts. So 1, 2, 3, up to whatever. Say there was 100 different components making up an assembly. So if I go into smart dimension, okay, and say I want to dimension from the top here down to here. So that's 37.5. I can drag that out to here. Okay. Um, I can add my dimension for my pad here. It's 12.5. I can put in dimension for my wall thickness. Okay. Again, I can add my radius here. Doesn't seem to be picking that one up. Just give me a wee second. See if it'll pick something else up here. So we'll do the height of this. Yeah. So Smart Dimension, the same if you're using it when you're dimensioning your 2D drawn, 2D sketch to create your model. If I want to do a diameter down here, so drag that out, or I can have it coming out that way, whichever way is best. It'll depend on how much other dimensions you have in that area. Maybe you have got text, or maybe you have additional views, so you don't want to make it too cluttered. Um, and there is obviously ways of adding in notes as well, which there is another video to cover that. So that's a basic part where we've created a 2D drawing. Now, I haven't completed all of the dimensions, but you can see how you would do that. You can see how you can create additional views if, when you go to the view palette, the one that you want to use is not available. You can modify your border and the text within that by right click edit sheet format and then go back into edit sheet to get into this view. And we will have a look as well. There will be another video of setting up a custom sheet size, which you can use over and over again instead of having to put this in every time. If you create one standard with your name, maybe a company logo in it, so that you don't have to do that each time.